Hi, I'm Margaret Glaspy
Hi, I'm Jim from Spoon, and you're watching Two for the Road.
on Consequence.
I'm trying to think of the first time we met.
Right.
Do you remember? Was it ACL?
I think that actually for me, I think the first time that I really crossed like actual paths with you guys in my memory was that you guys played, I think at Live from Here,
Mm,
which was maybe like, how many years ago was that? I don't know. Maybe that
not
was like
sure.
4 years ago or something. I'm not
Okay.
quite sure. But I remember seeing you guys play live there and was really blown away and thought it was incredible. And Spoon has pretty much been, it's been pretty ever present in my musical life. Spoon has been happening and I've always been stoked about Spoon. So to get to do this tour was very exciting and very cool. I'm very excited.
Awesome. Cool.
So I so appreciate having me.
Yeah. So I actually went back and looked through all my Gmail, and I feel like there was something happening
Oh,
around
right. There was.
2016
Right.
where I forget what it was, but I do have an email that we were looking at doing a session here or something. And I have a note there, and I was like, I would love to get Margaret in. I love her music. Let's try to make that happen. So I have that documented in 2016.
Right.
But did you play ACL? Did you ever
I
play?
did. I think I played ACL once. I played
Yeah,
ACL once.
do you remember what year it was?
It was probably right around then. It was probably
Yeah.
either 2016 or 2017. And I think also at the time we were doing that Irish TV show had come to ACL.
Oh,
we were
right,
playing
yeah.
a TV show, which I can't remember the name of right now.
Yeah.
Amazing show, but which is probably why we probably couldn't do it, but we were really packed that weekend. But that makes sense. Now I'm seeing like the
Yeah. I remember because I remember like around that time I saw that email, and then I feel like I went to your show and I was like that stalker guy side stage, and I met you, but I like wouldn't leave, that kind of guy. And like, so I talked to your band, I talked to you,
Oh
and then
man.
I still wouldn't leave. At least that's my recollection, but I thought it was a great set. And you guys are like,
Thank
when
you.
is this guy gonna leave? That
No,
kind of,
no, not at
yeah,
all.
yeah. Yeah. So I remember that I saw you live around then, and it must have been your first record that I heard that,
Yeah.
I was into. So
Yeah. So cool. Yeah. And yeah, again, for me, it's like you guys, I've been always hearing your guys' music through the grapevine and then slowly getting into all the records. I feel like for me, it was so cool to get the call to do this tour because it felt so like just really similar mindsets in a certain way. It just feels like I get so excited about music that is really performative and is made from guitar and bass and drums and
yeah, right.
and, not necessarily acoustic instruments, but kind of, for lack of a better word, I suppose.
Totally.
And putting together really simple pieces to make something exciting. And you guys are totally the essence of that for me. It's such exciting music done in a way that feels, kind of OG and really original. So it's what I aspire to do. And so to be on the road with you guys, it's like, oh, it's going to be so fun. I'm so excited to watch the show and just be around that energy, because it's definitely where I'm coming from too.
Awesome. Yeah, I went back. I listened to Devotion when we were talking about the tours and all that stuff, and I feel like you do a really good job of acoustic instruments, but there's something, I don't know if it's electronics or if it's just filtering real instruments or something. I really like the production on your records. So
Thank you.
I wanted to mention that. So I don't know, is it electronics in there or is it mainly acoustic
Yeah,
stuff? Yeah.
that one was the first time I had kind of scratched that itch in terms of, like just diving into the electronic world a little bit more,
Yeah.
with the help of my friend Tyler Chester, who's an amazing producer and jack of all trades, plays everything. I don't know, do you know Tyler?
No, but I'm like, who produced this record? So I went,
Yeah.
looked him up, and yeah, he seems like he has worked with amazing artists, and
Yeah, he's really great. He's a really,
yeah.
really great artist and musician. And I think my home, that was kind of like venturing out for me, that last record. And I just finished tracking a record in New York, which I'm really excited about. And that's a self-produced one. And usually when I produce my own records, it's more like just write the songs the best I can and then perform them in the studio, and that which I'm really excited to get back to. It just feels like home, and kind of like a really fun challenge.
So you have another one already done? You have another record already done?
I just tracked it. 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Yeah. And I was going to ask you because so when the pandemic hit, for me, we had like all this stuff going on, and I always felt like a huge amount of empathy, sympathy. I don't know. I always get those two words a little confused, but for people that had a record coming out right when the shit hit the fan. And then I looked at you and it's like March 2020 and I'm like, oh my God, she's one of them. I feel so bad. So how the hell was that, Did you have a tour plan? Did you have the whole team was like ready to go and everything?
Yeah, it was pretty brutal in terms of like the build up and then the massive fall from and also I felt, because I kind of had ventured out of my comfort zone, I think in a way, it was also kind of doubly bizarre because it was very new to me to make music in that way. And then I remember rehearsing with bandmates for that record because we were just about to go on tour like the next week. And then I got a call from my manager while we were rehearsing and was like, you're not going to tour.
Oh my God.
And it was really, really bizarre because I was on the phone and my bandmates were in front of me, not knowing what phone call, I had to say. So I had to also deliver the news that like none of us had work. It was a really big, life shift in a quick moment. So
I can imagine. Yeah.
I think looking back on it, I've had to kind of like get my mojo back a little bit.
Right. Totally. Yeah.
Because it was kind of in a creative sense. I mean, honestly, I just feel lucky, especially then. It was, for everybody, it was a really scary time and we really didn't understand what any of it was. And I think there's still a degree of mystery ever present.
I know.
But I think that one of the biggest things is just glad to be healthy and just wanted to, take care and make sure that people were safe. And on a creative level, it was kind of traumatizing, I think. And I think I've been trying to figure it out ever since, get reasoning to it. And there wasn't a whole lot to be had. It was just, you're having like a moment in life that's very rare. There's a global pandemic and it is what it is.
I feel like, there are people in two camps. Either they're like the most creative time in their entire life, or they were barely holding it together,
Right.
And I was definitely on the barely holding it together side. Like I could not, I was having a really difficult time being creative, and also like my studio shut down. If your studio shuts down and you have a place 10 feet from your house, I should have been in here making music or something, but I just couldn't, I would just like lay on the couch and hopefully I could get up, that kind of thing. It was, I was just more towards that side. But I can't imagine like having a tour booked. And was there the thing that some bands did where it was just like, we're going to reschedule for the fall, we're going to do
Yeah.
this, and now we're that? Did you have to go through all that stuff too?
Yeah. I think we
Yeah.
rescheduled like 3 times,
Oh my God.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So it was also, you kind of saw everybody kind of re-traumatized over and over
Yeah.
again.
Exactly.
Not only for
Holding.
me,
Yeah.
yeah, but for the venues themselves are
Yeah.
just like, how are we going to pull it together? Management is like, what happened? Agents are like, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it was an incredible amount of perseverance and hope. I think there's something I think to be had from it, where you saw people work really hard, just even for the glimpse of possibility, which was,
Mhm.
there's a sweetness to it, in a sense, where we're all just working our hardest just to, maybe this can see the light of day, and trying
Yeah.
to use every
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I think that it also started to become feeling like, man, I don't know,
Right.
like
Right.
when will this end? So I'm feeling it makes it that much sweeter when it actually happens, to say
Right.
that we will be on tour
Yeah.
in, a couple weeks time is just miraculous. I feel so lucky. I mean, how did that feel for you guys as a band? How did
Mhm.
that hit Boone, like, at large, in terms of the pandemic?
Well, we were 3/4 of the way through our new record when the pandemic hit. So we were doing active sessions, all getting
Yeah.
together, working on that. And then, the rug gets pulled out from us. We would try to schedule some things, and then all of a sudden the numbers would be astronomical in
Yeah.
Austin, and would just have to pull it again. Uh, then, I guess end of 2020, we started like, getting rapid tests and trying to like coordinate how we were gonna make progress on the record, and so we would do these little blocks, but we would still cancel them if something happened. It was difficult. I mean,
Yeah.
not as difficult as putting out a record, but the other thing, there is a silver lining though, because Britt was in a fairly creative spot, so he wrote a lot of extra songs during the pandemic, and a few of those got on our record, and so I feel like it's a better record because of that.
Yeah.
So that is a silver lining about this, and the fact that you wouldn't hear The Devil and Mr. Jones or Lucifer on the Sofa if the record would have come out like
Right.
in September of 2020, that kind of thing.
Right. That's really cool.
Just trying to look for the positive,
Yeah,
trying.
totally. You got to.
Yeah, totally.
I've been on so many different kinds of tours, whether I was headlining or I was supporting another band. And when you're supporting another band that you really are excited about, it feels like you're kind of in this pod of inspiration, honestly. And I am especially excited for that with this upcoming tour with Spoon, because you really just get to witness really talented people every night just throw down. And I feel so, I'm a fan, so it's really exciting when you just get to sit side stage and watch an amazing show. And in terms of the music that we'll be playing, we're going to play brand new things that no one's ever heard before. We will play some things from Devotion, which I'm really excited about, and some stuff from the first record. And I think what's interesting about Devotion for me is it is the most kind of studio-centric record I'd ever made. And so in some ways I like to bless it and leave some of that there, because I think we were able to create magic in ways that you don't make it, in a live setting. So it's a little bit of a studio record, and we're still going to play the kind of more live feeling songs from Devotion, which I'm excited about. So it's going to be, I just feel like a sense of catharsis in terms of, I also haven't played with a band in a very long time. It's been like 4 or 5 years since I've toured with a band, and I was doing a lot of solo touring and just playing or playing duo with my husband too. So I don't know, for me, it's a lot of things coming together all at once, new music, being able to play, you know, a record, my pandemic record, and then also kind of reuniting with just playing with other musicians live. It's exciting. That's what I'm looking to.
Have you done a show since the
Yes.
2020? You have? How many shows have you done?
I did a tour with a songwriter named Rustin Kelly.
Okay.
And that was in fall of last year. That was a long tour. It was like 7 weeks.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, totally. Right. So I've been out for sure.
Yeah. So you've got the energy from the crowd feeling since the pandemic, you know.
Totally. And that was solo. So it's exciting to kind of like bump it up and get in there with the trio for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to all that stuff. I feel like for me, I love playing live right after we release a record, because I feel like it completes the circle on the record cycle. You know, you work in the studio crafting songs and hoping that they're gonna go over live or that people are gonna like them, and then when you play them live for people and you see, you know, everyone's singing the words or raise their fist in a certain part where there's like some amazing simple drum fill or something like that. You know, it's just like it's really cool to see, you know. I don't know. And also what I've noticed is there is an energy in the crowd that is a lot different than before, I feel, post-pandemic. I feel like, you know, the crowd is craving to see, is craving new music, you know, and live shows, and just to get back and do some proper shows, I think is going to be amazing, you know. And we should definitely talk about doing a song together. So
that would be fun. I would love to.
Yeah, so we should chat about that, and we're going to do rehearsals next week, so maybe we'll start thinking about things and send them over.
Yeah, drop me a line. So I'll learn whatever you want me to.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah. But also I feel like one thing about, you know, going on a long tour with like a cool opening band and people you get along with is that it's sort of like high school summer camp. You know, it's just sort of like, you know, have a great show and then like, you know, hanging out after or on a day off, we go bowling, you know, stuff like that. It's great, you know.
Yeah, totally.
So we played Madison, Wisconsin, and it was New Year's Eve. And then we stayed the next day, you know, for fun. And it was snowing. The whole band, we had like our wives and significant others there. We went to like, I watched like, there's a hockey game every New Year's Day that's an outside hockey game in an outside arena. It's the only time all year they do it. Sat there, drank during the day, watched this hockey game, then went to dinner, went in another small hole in the wall bar, and then wandered into a bowling alley where they were just like, you know, cranking Def Leppard and just walking in like all black lights and stuff, you know, and just bowling. Awesome. And like, it was like the best New Year's Day I've like ever had in my entire life. It was so fun. And I feel like you'll hit, you know, things like that on the road when you just never, ever expect something like that to happen. Yeah. Pretty fun, you know.
That's awesome. Yeah, I feel like I've had similar, I know what you mean in terms of like you hit these little kind of bliss points or something that feel kind of happenstance and just kind of come together. And then for me, it's funny, one memory that came to mind for me was totally the opposite. In like kind of the more like the exhaustion zone of just being so tired that you like it's you can't really tell up from down. And I remember we were on tour Actually, I might have been on a solo tour really pretty early on. It was probably like 2015, maybe. It was probably right before I was releasing my first kind of full-length record called Emotions and Math. And uh, I was in a rental car by myself, just traveling the United States, like never ending. And I got into the car and I looked at the the dashboard, gave me kind of like an error light and something was wrong with the car. So I called the rental company, and they have their roadside assistance or whatever. And I called them, and I had been on tour for a while, and the woman on the other line said, "I can totally help you, no problem. I just need to know where you are." And I was like, hold on one second.
I gotta pull up my tour itinerary.
I don't know where I am.
Oh my God.
And so I started to look around, and I was trying to look at license plates to tell where I was, but everyone else is traveling, so they're pretty mixed up around me. And I was really tired. Then I said, I'm just going to look at my rental agreement, but I was like 2-3 weeks into tour. So that was
Right.
from where I started.
Yeah.
So at this point, the woman is like, "Ma'am, are you okay?" I'm like, and finally, I can't remember to this day where I actually was. I think I might have been in Maryland or something, but it was totally almost a, not a Spinal Tap moment quite, but like just a very heavy tour moment of
Oh my God.
it was the equivalent of getting lost in the venue, but I was like lost in the
Yeah.
United States.
Oh my God. That's a good one.
Yeah, totally. So that's a tour memory, an early tour memory of just being so
Oh my
fried
God.
and so road worn that I didn't know where I was.
Yeah.
Which is a little scary, but is
Yeah.
kind of par for the course.
Yeah. And it's like, that's like, wasn't meant to be a hard question either. And
Yeah,
yet it was really hard. Sorry, did I
literally just
stump
needed
you?
to know
Yeah.
like where to
Yeah.
send them, and I couldn't
Yeah.
tell her.
That's amazing. We do bowling, ping pong, I don't know. We tend to like all recuperate, sleep late. Some guys are like the pool guys. They go out to the pool or the spa or something. Like around 3 p.m. or so, the texts start going out. Are you thirsty? What are we going to do? We may go see, like, go grab a good dinner or something. But, a lot of times we'll end up at the hotel bar because, like, even though we spend pretty much 24/7 with each other, we still like hanging out. And the hotel bar is like very, very easy, like, "Hey, come on down, I'm coming down," or whatever. So sometimes we end up there, but yeah, that's sort of a day off with Spoon, I guess.
Nice. I guess for me, when with band, I remember one tour we got pretty deep into watching basketball. So we would convene in like the hotel bar to watch the game, and usually eat some pretty unhealthy food. That was great. And then when I'm that's like after show stuff. I think on a complete off day, actually, we did make I think we got like a house and made buffalo wings from scratch one time.
Oh, wow.
That was really fun.
That's cool.
Like an Airbnb, did the buffalo wings and watched some basketball also.
Nice.
That was fun. But when it's like Margaret solo tour day off, I'm kind of like a scavenger. I think that's kind of my thing on tour on days off. It's like I like to go find things. So whether it's like books or maybe usually I come off of tour with bags heavier than I came on tour with.
Like record shopping too, or more like
I'm definitely like I always want to get deep into vinyl, but I haven't hit my stride with that yet. But I'm a big reader, so I definitely kind of start to hoard books.
Oh, cool.
So I like to find books a lot, and then trinkets, crystals, little
Mhm.
things.
Cool.
That's definitely a thing for me. I meditate a lot and read a lot, and that's kind of my zone. I usually like to keep it pretty pretty low to the ground when I'm on tour. I feel like for me it's so much stimulus that when I have the opportunities, I have to keep like almost pretty quiet. So
Yep.
sometimes on days off, I'll find myself it's usually like a walk through whatever city I'm in. If you're in like Portland, Oregon, it's awesome because you're going to hit like the best tea shop you've ever seen and the best, bookstore you've ever been to, and find the best little thing you ever saw. And then
Right.
if you're in, I don't know, Chicago, again, you're going to find the best bookstore you've ever seen,
Right.
the best
Right.
record store you've ever seen. So I start to kind of scavenge. I think my mode is I kind of start to go out into the world and find things.
Right. Well, we're going to kidnap you then and take you bowling or something. So
Yeah, you totally should get me out of my
all right.
zone.
Yeah, we're going to
That'd
get
be
you out of your
awesome.
comfort zone a little bit too. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if, yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'm just looking forward to seeing, you playing live, I mean, I don't know. I feel like, I love your songs. I think you have a great voice, and I want to see how that translates, and especially with a band, I think it's going to be great. I think the crowd's going to love you. I think it's going to be great. So
Thanks so much, Jim. I'm also just so excited. I'm just so excited to be to hang with you guys and to really be around the music. And I'm so excited for you guys in this new record. It's really awesome. I really love
thank you.
it. Yeah,
Thank you.
congratulations on knocking it out of the park.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks. Going to be great. It's going to be a great tour.
Woo!
Oh my God, so much pressure.
I
We
know.
got this. We
You
got
got it.
this.
Right. Should we rehearse? Go ahead, Jim. Say your piece.
But you start, right?
You start. So far, so good. You say, I'm Margaret Glaspy. And then he takes over and says, I'm Jim Eno from Spoon. This is 2 for the Road. And then you say, on Consequence.
Great, I got it.
Woo! Yes, killing it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I start?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Why is this so difficult for me right now? I promise I'm a human being. Okay, here we go.
Need some coffee. Let's review in like 5 minutes.